Come along with me to make this farmer's market tote bag. Complete with lining and a little pocket inside. I've already used the outer fabric to make the pocket, and I'm just going to center that on the inner lining piece and use a top stitch to sew along 3 sides of the pocket. Put the 2 pieces of lining together, and I mark out a little gap on one side. That's for when we turn the bag inside out at the very end. So one side has that gap, and then the other side here I'm going to sew along the entire length. Next we'll do the boxy corners. So taking the bottom corner of each of the ends of the bag, we will make a little point, line up the seams, and then I mark about 3 inches for the boxiness of my corners. The longer you do, the boxier they'll be. And this just helps the bag give it some structure and help it stand up a little bit nicer, give it some depth. So I mark down 3-inch line, sew right along that line, and then I snip off the excess. And I'll do that for the other side as well, same amount. Now I've folded the bag in half, marked the middle, and marking 3 inches on either side of the center. That's where my straps will be. Now we're going to sew the outer piece. So we have 2 sides of printed fabric and then a plain side just for the very bottom of the tote bag. And then we put the 2 right sides together and sew entirely along the length of each side. And we'll also be doing the boxy corners with the same amount that I did for the inner lining, about 3 inches. Turn that right side out, place the straps where you'd like them to be, make sure they're not twisted at all. And then you put the entire outer lining inside the inner lining, which is still inside out. Line up the seams, clip those in place. Make sure the straps are where you want them to be and clip and pin those in place for extra immovability. And then I also have that little tab that'll be like a little hook if you want to hang your bag somewhere and not use the straps. Okay, we're going to stitch around the entire top length of this. I'm using about a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and I do back stitch over the straps a few times just to give it extra strength and sturdiness. Then you're going to pull the entire bag from that little gap that you left and make it right side out. Then we'll sew that gap closed with a little top stitch right at the edge. Then I put that lining side inside and press down the top seam to make it nice and crisp, and I'll give it 1 more top stitch along the edge there to hold that in place across the entire length. Next, I just snip off any of the extra threads that are hanging around, and there is your completed farmer's market tote bag. Use it for vegetables, fruits, bread, anything you'd like, books, whatever fits in there. Thanks for watching.